Hey everybody, welcome back. Norton Man Reviews. I'm John, and we are going through the Joe Mad X-Men Visionaries book. God, look at this shit. God, I don't know what happened to this. I think I bought it used. Not my fault. God damn it. All right, so last time we were in this book, we looked at issue number 325, and shit happened with things and stuff. Morlocks and those kind of things. So we're going to go on to number 326. Now, I was looking through this, and I realized that there's a lot of these issues that Joe Mad had done in this era of X-Men that are not in this book. So, what the fuck? Like, let's even look at the beginning here. 325, 326, then to 329 and 330. And then to 341 and 342, 343. Like, there's a lot of stuff that it misses. And I think I have those. I pulled out some of them. So as we go, I'm going to try and do these in order. Only the Joe Mad stuff. If you took a day off, I may not do it. And I may skip some stuff because I think some of this goes into the Onslaught storyline. And I may skip over that because I might want to do the Onslaught stuff as its separate series or video. So, we'll see. But right now, we're going to get into number 326. X-Men. So, evil natures. The nature of evil. Is it the nature of evil or is it evil natures? Pick a fucking title. Whatever. But it's Gambit and Sabretooth. So, they have a history, but you don't know it. No, yeah, I do. We do a little bit. This is Uncanny X-Men. In the X-Men issues, I think it was revealed that their first encounter, when he was just a young pup, as he so eloquently put it in that X-Men issue by Jim Lee, where I think they revealed his name for the first time, of LeBeau. But when he was a young man, he was doing this job with this young woman. And he was like scamming her, basically. He was, if I remember correctly, he was stealing something from her, but they kind of developed a romantic relationship. But Sabretooth was there in his old yellow outfit, and I think he ended up killing her, which I think they'll do a flashback in this issue. So among that, there's some other stuff that Gambit has a history with Sabretooth and Mr. Sinister with, which they'll probably reveal later. But, so right now, Gambit's up on top of the X Mansion, I guess, and that's a cool shot with the lightning and everything. I like it. Where's my pointer? With his red eyes, for whatever reason. When they put him in the MCU, if they ever put him in, do you think he'll have his eyes glowing red? Maybe. Yeah, I don't know. Let's say. So he used to be kind of like a scumbag. They're saying, his past, but he's with the X-Men, so he feels exonerated, but not really. He realizes he was wrong. And I think at this point, Rogue and him had shared a kiss, and Rogue had fucked off. She left. And she knows something about his past, but he doesn't know what. She was freaked out. I don't think she even knows what it was. And they had a big issue. Kind of the equivalent of issue number 325, but it was the X-Men title, drawn by Andy Kubert. Maybe I'll dig that out at some point. But anyways, he's all sad. He's super sad, Gambit. But Storm comes up to check on him, because when he was first introduced, he and Storm were, friends. So, she came to check on his friend. She wants to know that, do you want to talk about whatever happened with Rogue? And not actually. I kind of want to spend some time alone. She's like, I don't believe you. So she stays up there with him. She was a kid when they first met. He's kind of mentioning that there. She's got this fucking long hair. Look at this long ass fucking hair. It's cool to draw and everything, but semi-ridiculous. Okay, so they're talking about what happened last issue. Cool lightning strike, and they're in shadows. Duplicate image. They're just kind of sharing a moment. They're friends. So that's nice. And she's wearing Wonder Woman bracelets. because she saw the new Wonder Woman movie, which it hasn't come out yet. I'm just being dumb. Why is she wearing those? Hey, she has like armbands like I put on my character Bliss. That's cool. Is that where I got it from? Probably not. All right, so now we cut to Beast, and he's doing this lecture presenting about the legacy virus. The legacy virus, from my recollection, was a virus that was targeting mutants specifically. And it's very dangerous, and I think it was like created by Strife in the X-Force comics. And he's basically, I think, people are already fearful of mutants. They don't like him. Now there's like this weird virus that only mutants have. Like, could it get to humans? So I think he's like trying to give some like information about it, but they don't know a lot about it right now. And then someone says, you don't know much about it at all. And that's, Professor Xavier. And they kind of have a little bit of a debate here. There's only been 8 recorded cases and 9 because Moira McTaggart, a human, was infected, but that's probably because she was in such close proximity. So it can affect humans. But he's like, I think Professor Xavier is worried that what data he's giving is just going to make people even more worried. So he's kind of trying to discredit him that the legacy virus isn't a big deal. Even though he probably knows it, he's trying to like, I don't know, publicly make it seem like Beast doesn't always talk about it, which kind of sucks for Beast. And so he's like, I've read your data. I question whether the condition even falls within the Center for Disease Controls of Classification under Biohazard Contagion. Let it know the potential genetic time bomb has been portrayed so far. So they're just kind of like talking back and forth about it. Stand here in front of this world community and incite panic and fear in the general public would appear to me to be the highest irresponsibility. So it's not like COVID where like there was actually something going on, but like legacy virus only has like 8 recorded cases. And let's see, someone is yelling up at him. They're talking about there are over 300 dead mutates buried in Pottersfield and Genosha that would argue otherwise. And they died of a variant strain. So it is kind of a bigger deal to mutants than that Professor Xavier is saying. All right, so they bring up Valerie Cooper, former head of Mutant Affairs. She was with X Factor. Let's see. I testify that I do not believe that the country's current medical crisis posed a threat to the world health or security concerns. That specific country of Genosha. She doesn't believe that's the case still. It's like, should we be concerned? Yes, but a doomsday virus that threatens everybody? No, not at this point. It does become a big deal, and later on, like, they do find a cure for it, but they had to inject a lethal dose into a mutant for it to go. That's how Colossus ended up dying, and then he came back under Joss Whedon from Astonishing X-Men. We'll probably get to all that later. Okay, so now we go to Excalibur. There's Moira McTaggart, Nightcrawler. Who the fuck? Doug Locke. That's Doug Ramsey and Warlock. Now he's one person. I don't remember what's going on. And Megan. Let's see. So they're just kind of watching what's going on and talking about the virus and what they know. No, nothing big. Perhaps that Madman Strife has accomplished what he set out to do when he released the virus, and the damage is already done, just spreading like worry and chaos throughout the world and straining the relations between mutants and humans even more so. All right, so we're back at the X Mansion. You got Boomer. She used to be called Boom Boom or Tabitha. She's going by Boomer at this point. X-Force is there with the X-Men. They don't live there, but they're just guests. And for some reason, Boomer here, she latched onto Sabretooth. It's maybe kind of like being a relationship with like Jubilee and Wolverine, but she's with Sabretooth. Sabretooth, he got stuck by Wolverine up right through his skull, and it poked his brain in Wolverine number 90. I did a video of that with my brother Rob on his channel, Rob Norton, so go check that out. It was a really good issue. It was a good episode of his, but a good issue of Wolverine. So she's watching him. She's like, she wants him to move. He hasn't moved in a while. It's like he's stalking something, but he's just in the danger room, and he's kind of just acting like an animal, and she feels bad for him, and she wants to help take care of him. So she bangs, like, move, do something, and like there was a little widow wabbit, and it bounces away, and he was going to eat it for lunch. So he he trots up, and he kind of smiles at her. She's like, you're acting like a caged animal. But I don't know, there's something in his eyes when she stares into his eyes, and she doubts it, so she closes the doors to the windows, and she just doesn't know what's going on. So he's in the danger room, and someone says, end program. Pewter, they can't just say computer, they have to put pewter, like he has an accent, pewter, end holo program. And in comes busting Gambit in his really, really cool outfit, right? No, like, I don't get it. Kind of armor, but not. So I've been up on the roof thinking about guys like you and me trying to escape our past. You remember Meat Creed? And, he's not such an animal. He still has thoughts. And he says, LeBeau, you're called Gambit. So Gambit comes jumping down. Let's see how much more you remember about your life before Wolverine poked you in the head. All right, so back at San Francisco, that's a cool image of the car, Beast driving it, and taking a turn, and he stops and he sees Professor Xavier's floating wheelchair dilly, and he's like, what is going on here? No one knew where we were rendezvousing to, which means if he left the chair on his own, what's going on? So he's worried. But, he doesn't have use of his legs, and he just pulled himself up on this thing? Good God. That's impressive, Professor X. He just wanted a moment to himself, just out of his chair. He just wanted some peace of mind. And he just feels powerless. I think they staged that thing earlier, for whatever reason. And they're just feeling bad about everything. He feels like he's playing with fire with the legacy virus, with Creed, Sabretooth. And he's talking about Sabretooth a little bit more. Took him into our home against the better judgment of most of the X-Men because I thought I could stop the killing, stop his homicidal lust. I failed on both counts. Balderdash. All right, so Sabretooth, he's like, you're an X-Man. I came to the X-Men for help. Are you going to help? He's still a little cuckoo in the brains. It's like, so Gambit, he doesn't like him, and he's going to fuck with his head, and he's going to make him feel guilty for a bunch of the people that he's killed. So it's like the danger room's like the holodeck from Star Trek. So, holo programs are going on. So there's a guy that he killed. Let's see. I was your first official kill. You were 9 years old. I died trying to help you. He was a pediatrician. That's sad. So then it goes to these three cops. We were killed in the line of duty trying to stop the killing rampage across 3 provinces. Sabretooth was 13 years old at the time. Then these people, she opened her house to him, and let's see, they killed them. She was never the same after she found my body on the kitchen floor. Oh, that's really sad. Killed the mom. Killed this woman, sleeping with the window open. Just all these people. How did Gambit get all this information and program all this? That's, So he's kind of swiping at him, telling him to stop. Why are you doing this to me? Because Gambit wants him to remember every single one. You don't get to just get off scot-free. You've murdered people, and you're going to remember it, and you're going to feel bad. Kind of like Angel. Do you ever watch the show Angel and Buffy? Kind of like the same thing. So he's got Birdie down here. Birdie was his little sidekick assistant. She had telepathic powers. She'd like mind blast him or something, call it the glow or whatever. And I think that would kind of clear his head, make him not so crazy, so he could just like act normally a little bit and manage his life. Sabretooth, he jumps at him at Gambit, but he has a card. He zaps him away. And this was going back to that issue I was telling you about with Gambit, and him and his friend were doing a scam on this young lady, but Gambit was kind of falling for her. Somehow Sabretooth got involved, and he made Gambit choose between his friend and this girl that he was kind of, liking. And he had him tied up, and he made him choose, so he dropped the rope, and Gambit had to come in and save one of them. So that's like he's recreating it here in the Danger Room. He says "oops" up here, and he puts it on a loop, so he keeps dropping it and "oops." And this version of Sabretooth is like, what is he doing? Why is he just dropping them? They're helpless and stuff like that. It's like they were helpless, and it wasn't. Don't talk about him. It was you. Like, you did this. It's like, don't make me remember. And Gambit's like, you're always going to remember. Don't think that you're not gonna turn away from this. But Storm comes in. She stops the program. He's like, this is fucked up, Gambit. Get out of here or I'll remove you. Gambit just says, like, you will remember. I'll be here to remind you. So he leaves. I like that little shot of them, just the silhouettes. Madureira, great, good artist. Always has been. So she's looking at him and just puts him in his cage, and he says "oops" right there. Even though he doesn't remember, apparently, he kind of repeats it. So then we go back to Xavier and Beast, and they're just talking about, the good and the bad, what's going on, everything sucks. They're talking about Sabretooth. He chose to maim and torture and kill. He enjoyed it. He lived for it. It just kind of sucks what he's going through. He's like, if you wanted to change his mind, you could with your powers, but he's like, that's not an option. I don't do that. And Beast's like, yeah, but we just can't Sabretooth. Like, we can't change him. Don't let him change us. And so he thanks him for, reminding that this teacher, that he can still learn from his students. And he talks about that we're still only human. We're mutants, but we're still only humans. So we kind of talk about here, Victor Creed committed many horrible crimes against humanity. It says the same humanity the X-Men have all sworn their lives to protect. And he says, no, sir, I don't think the problem with Sabretooth is as complicated as you think. So, and that's the end of it. He leaves him up there. He's probably going to fall and drown in the water because he was probably counting on Beast to get him out of there. So just a simple story, simple morality tale, kind of, just characterization from the X-Men, world building with what's going on. Good art, not really any action besides one little thing of, Gambit throwing a card at him. So simple little storyline. The next one in these have to do with Wolverine, trying to say Wolverine and Angel or Archangel here saving Psylocke. The issue where she gets injured is not in here, but I do have that, so I will do that, and I'll do these probably as one video because this is a two-parter, so I'll do the 3-issue thing with that. So we'll get through this book as we keep going, and a lot of the Madureira comics from this era. So thank you for watching. What do you think about Mad's work? Do you like it as much as I do, or do you think he's overrated at this point? I mean, he's a hell of an artist. Can't deny that. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.